Hello, my seniors. I don't need you to write this bit down. I just kind of want to talk through something really quick, and then we'll get on, to the real thing. But I think it's interesting to take a second to just define what the heck poetry is, because it turns out there's actually only one thing that makes a poem a poem. Seriously, okay? So think about a thing that's not a poem. It kind of looks like this, right? It's got some long writing going all across the page, some indents, some paragraphs, right? Not a poem. But what if something looks like this? Oh, I'll put some lines here, maybe some few over there. Kind of looks like a poem. And that's literally it. A poem looks like a poem, okay? The thing that matters most for poetry is a shape. It looks different from prose. It just plain looks like a poem, whether it's like a sonnet, 14 little lines, whether it's postmodern and has weird lines going all over the place. It just is different, okay? That means it doesn't really have to do anything else and rhyme and have figurative language. It just has to be in the format of a poem. And bam, you got a poem. Now, most poetry cares a lot about the sound, okay? All of a sudden, as opposed from writing essays when you're trying to get ideas across, you don't care what the words sound like. All of a sudden, poets are very, very likely to care about how it sounds, how it rolls off the tongue, okay? And then, if they've done that, they're likely, the next thing that you might want to add to make something really poetic is figurative language. All your metaphors and personifications and things like that. So starting with just a basic shape, if you start adding sound qualities and then you get all the way into figurative language, it gets more and more and more and more and more what we call poetic, okay? It's just kind of funny that at its basic, all you need is something to look like a poem. In terms of sound, how do you get language to sound good? You get words together that flow well. Why? Because they rhyme. Cat and Matt. We like it. We know about alliteration. That could be so cool when you get, lazy lions lounging about in their lingerie. I don't know. There's two more, okay? And it's not going to really surprise you because you've learned for a long time that alliteration has to do with the starting sounds of things. But what about sounds in the middle of words, at the end of words? Do we just ignore them? Oh my gosh, no. Poets can do amazing things by matching up cool sounds that come in the middle of words. If it's about vowels, it's this really funny word called assonance. Please don't ever abbreviate that word. Thank you very much. And assonance would be something like putting flash, and axe, and maybe battle. Same strong sound. Flash, axe, battle. Sounds so good. But, they don't rhyme. There's no alliteration. Interior vowel sounds. And then, no-brainer here, we have this thing called consonance, where all of a sudden we care about consonants on the interior of words. Able, something has a nice B. Abominable. Able and abominable. Something like that. Yeah, close enough. I also put some nice alliteration on my able and abominable. Oh wait, that's not the same sound, is it? Able, abominable. Haha, it's got to be the same sound. That is the next point of my lesson anyway. So what you have in this thing is a modernist Irish poet. You just learned about modernism. And again, you don't have to write this down. This guy was writing right in the time where there was a horrible war, World War I. It's kind of interesting, though, because his poem is very, very, very much in the Romantic style. The guy's just sitting in a city. He hates it, and he's imagining and dreaming about this beautiful spot in nature that you just can't wait to get to. Flee the city, flee the stresses of life, all that emo modernism stuff, angsty. We gotta go, okay? Let me just talk it through because it's so cool, and I'm gonna make you draw a little cabin in a second. So here we go. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree in Ireland, and a small cabin build there of clay and wattles made. A clay and wattle cabin would have boards, not logs, boards, and it's put together with this white-looking clay stuff. And wattle is like the straw matting that holds the clay in, and so it goes in between the boards to create kind of a mortar, and then it would have that kind of a roof. You don't have to draw it that fancy, but clay and wattles cabin. 9 bean rows will I have there, and a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. It's a little songbird. I will arise and go now, for always, night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's gray, I hear it in the deep heart's core. When I first heard that poem, it didn't do anything for me. Didn't really care for it, but it's sure growing on me. It just sounds so nice. I like it. Notice that the poet has made an attempt to put rhyme. We have clay, glade, clay and, there it is, sorry, maid and glade. We have sings and wings, low, doesn't rhyme with anything, never mind. Day and gray, shore and core. Okay, so he's put rhyme in there. We like rhyme, it's all good, right? But what I want to care about now is this thing called assonance. Okay, now, it's about vowels. It's about vowels. Write this down, right here. A, E, I, O, U. And sometimes Y. Okay, those are your vowels. But guys, our vowel sounds combine with each other and do weird things. So we actually get 15 sounds out of our vowels. There are 15 vowel sounds in American English. Pretty amazing. In fact, do you know how many sounds there are total? There's 26 letters in the alphabet, right? But how many sounds do we make? Probably more. Yeah, it turns out we make 46 distinct sounds to make up the English language. That's about right in the middle of where languages are. The language that has the fewest are the Hawaiian type languages. They only have like 12 sounds. And the ones with the most are the African click languages that have about 140 to 160. They're having a hard time telling, actually. But English has 46. And with those sounds, we make all of our words. So you have to be careful, okay? I can see right here that I have this nice I, but can I match it with this I in will? Nope, it doesn't work. However, I can put it with arise. So I and arise makes assonance. I and arise. I do see that I could match up will, with, and Innisfree. Yeah, that's close enough that it resonates. Sure. I kind of like that one. Now, the easiest way to do it is to actually sound it out. You know, if you're alone in your bedroom, say it, or say it under your breath. You know, and. Can I do it with this thing? No, that's and, small, Ooh, but look, cabin. My and my cabin can connect. That's cool. Cabin and my, let's see, clay, Nope, that doesn't work. I could put small with wattles. That's kind of nice. Clay and maid. That's why I got distracted earlier, because I'm so used to connecting clay and maid. They don't rhyme, they have assonance. Clay and maid. It's nice. Oh, what do we have? We have 9. 9 connecting over with hive. That's nice. And I. Do we have any E sounds? Sure. Bean going over to honeybee. That's nice. And live alone. Do we have any other O sounds? I guess we could do the for and the alone. For, alone. In the bee. Maybe honey and bee can go to bee again. Low, ow, glade. And of course, maid and glade rhyme. Yeah, there we go. Now, because vowel sounds are really rich, There's no air obstruction. They resonate, okay? I will arise, and a small cabin of clay and wattles made. They're very, very rich. Poets spend a lot of time thinking about assonance, these internal vowel sounds, okay? I wouldn't say they spend as much time thinking about consonants, okay? It's still important, but I guarantee this poet knew what he was doing. He deliberately put in the assonance. Okay, down on the bottom part, would you by yourselves put in, find me five more examples of assonance. So you do just that. Connect up the sounds. Okay? Now let me go over here and introduce consonants and have you do the same thing. And then you can take a picture of it and upload it, and it'll be awesome. So with consonants, I was looking at this just yesterday, and there's not too much going on. You can connect your R. Okay, remember, no vowels. No vowels. We just care about consonants. Arise and inish free. You can hear that one. But I love what he does in this next line with the L's. He's got small and build and clay and wattles. Small, build, clay, wattles. Now those L's are nice. In the next line, you could actually pick up both N's in 9, connect it with the N and bean. 9 bean. And then somewhere there's another N over here. And I kind of like, these words are so similar, have and hive. It's got alliteration with the H's, but then our V's are nice. And then in the last line, again, he goes back to L's. Super. Live alone in the be loud glade. Nicely done. Our poet, by the way, is William Butler Yeats, famous Irish poet. Modernist, very angsty. He actually loved somebody for years who didn't love him back, and he was torn up about it, and he wrote all sorts of angsty poetry about it. It's really cool. Okay, so you can kind of see what I mean. Our L's are doing something amazing here. But in general, consonant sounds aren't as strong. You know, think of our sounds like B, B, T, T, P, K, G. You know, they just don't resonate like the vowels, and so poets don't necessarily do things with them. Okay, again, ignore the vowels, just look at consonants. Again, find me 5 examples of consonants. My name is Miss Thornbrue. Ready to turn in. Well, the work has to be done at the bottom, of course, but I'm the teacher and I don't have to do it. Cool. All right. That, my friends, is assonance and consonants. See you later. Or not, I seem to have lost the mouse. Oh, there we go. Okay, for reals, goodbye.